March 19th. Judges 3, 4, and 5. Judges 3. And these are the nations which Yah left, to try Israel by them, all those who had not known all the battles in Canaan. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them battle, only those who did not know, who before did not know them. 5 princes of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonians, and the Hivites, who dwelt in Mount Lebanon, and from Mount Baal Hermon to the entrance of Hamath. And they were to try Israel by them, to know whether they would obey the commands of Yah, which he had commanded their fathers by the hand of Moshe. Thus the children of Israel dwelt in the midst of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to their sons, and they served their mighty ones. Thus the children of Israel did evil in the eyes of Yah, and forgot Yah their Elohim, and served the Baals and Asherahs. And the displeasure of Yah burned against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan Rishathaim, sovereign of Aram Naharaim. And the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children of Israel cried out to Yah, Yah raised up a Savior for the children of Israel, who saved them. Onithiel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. And the Spirit of Yah came upon him, and he ruled Israel, and went out to battle. And Yah gave into his hand Cushan Rishathaim, sovereign of Aram Naharaim, and his hand prevailed over Cushan Rishathaim, and the land had rest for 40 years. Then Othniel, son of Kenaz, died. And the children of Israel again did evil in the eyes of Yah, and Yah made Elgon, sovereign of Moab, strong against Israel, because they had done evil in the eyes of Yah. And he gathered to himself the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and struck Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. And the children of Israel served Eglon, sovereign of Moab, 18 years. And when the children of Israel cried out to Yah, Yah raised up a Savior for them, Ehud, son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man impeded in his right hand. And by him the children of Israel sent a present to Eglon, sovereign of Moab. And Ehud made himself a sword. It was double-edged and a cubit in length, and he girded it under his long robe on his right thigh. And he brought the present to Eglon, sovereign of Moab. Now Eglon was a very fat man. And it came to be that when he had finished bringing near the present, he sent away the people bearing the present. But he himself turned back from the stone images that were in Gilgal, and said, I have a secret message for you, O sovereign. And he said, Be silent. And all those standing beside him went out from him. And Ehud came to him while he was sitting in his cool roof room. And Ehud said, I have a message from Elohim for you. So he arose from his seat. And Ehud reached with his left hand, and took the sword from his right thigh, and thrust it into his stomach. And the handle went in after the blade, and the fat closed over the blade, for he did not draw the sword out of his stomach, but it came out behind. Then Ehud went out to the porch, and shut the doors of the upper room behind him, and locked them. And when he had got out, his servants came to look, and saw the doors of the roof room were locked. So they said, He is only covering his feet in the cool roof room. And they waited until they were ashamed, but saw he was not opening the doors of the upper room. So they took the key and opened them. and saw their master fallen to the ground, dead. But while they were delaying, Ehud escaped and had passed beyond the stone images, and escaped to Syria. And it came to be, when he arrived, that he blew the shofar in the mountains of Ephraim. And the children of Israel went down with him from the mountains, with him leading them. And he said to them, Follow me, for Yah has given your enemies, the Moabites, into your hand. And they went down after him, and took the fjords of Jordan, leading to Moab, and did not allow anyone to pass over. And they struck about 10,000 men of Moab at that time, all robust and brave men, and not a man escaped. And on that day Moab was humbled under the hand of Israel, and the land had rest for 80 years. After him was Shamgar, son of Anath, and he struck 600 men of the Philistines with an ox goad, and he too saved Israel. Shamgar, I wonder if that's supposed to be Samson. I don't think so. It is not. Judges 4. And when Ehud was dead, the children of Israel again did evil in the eyes of Yah. Therefore Yah sold them into the hand of Jabin, sovereign of Canaan, who reigned in Hatzor. And the commander of his army was Sisera, who was dwelling in Harosheth Goyim. And the children of Israel cried out to Yah, because he had 900 chariots of iron, and for 20 years he harshly oppressed the children of Israel. And Deborah, a prophetess, the wife of Lepidoth, was ruling Israel at that time. And she was dwelling under the palm tree of Deborah, between Ramah and Bethel, in the mountains of Ephraim. And the children of Israel came up to her for right ruling. And she sent and called for Barak, son of Abinoam, from Kadesh in Naphtali, and said to him, Has not Yah, Elohim of Israel, commanded? Go, and you shall draw towards Mount Tabor, and shall take with you 10,000 men of the sons of Naphtali, and of the sons of Zebulun. And I shall draw unto you Sisera, the commander of Jabin's army, with his chariots and his company at the Wadi Gishon, and shall give him into your hand. And Barak said to her, If you go with me, then I shall go, but if you do not go with me, I do not go. And she said, I certainly go with you. Only there shall be no esteem for you in the journey you are taking. For Yah is going to sell Sisera into the hand of a woman. So Deborah arose and went with Barak to Kadesh. And Barak called Zebulun and Naphtali to Kadesh, and he went up, 10,000 men under his command, and Deborah went with him. And Heber, the Kenite of the children of Moab, the father-in-law of Moshe, had separated himself from the Kenites and pitched his tent near the terebinth tree at Tzeanaim, which is beside Kadesh. And they reported to Sisera that Barak, son of Abinoam, had gone up to Mount Tabor. So Sisera called all his chariots, 900 chariots of iron, and all the people who were with him, from Harosheth Hagoyim to the Wadi Gishon. And Deborah said to Barak, Rise up, for this is the day in which Yah has given Sisera into your hand. Has not Yah gone out before you? And Barak went down from Mount Tabor with 10,000 men after him. And Yah destroyed Sisera and all his chariots and all his army with the edge of the sword before Barak. And Sisera leapt from his chariot and fled away on foot. But Barak pursued the chariots and the army as far as Harosheth Hagoyim, and all the army of Sisera fell by the edge of the sword, Not one was left. Sisera, meanwhile, had fled on foot to the tent of Jael, the woman of Heber the Kenite, for there was peace between Jabin, sovereign of Hatzor, and the house of Heber the Kenite. And Jael went out to meet Sisera and said to him, "Turn aside, my master. Turn aside to me. Do not fear." So he turned aside with her into the tent, and she covered him with a blanket. And he said to her, "Stand at the door of the tent, and it shall be that if anyone comes and asks you and says, 'Is there a man here?' you shall say no." But Jael, Heber's wife, took a tent peg and took a hammer in her hand, and went softly to him, and drove the peg into the side of his head, and it went down into the ground, for he was fast asleep and exhausted, and he died. And see, as Barak pursued Sisera, Jael came out to meet him and said, "Come, let me show you the man whom you are seeking." And when he went into her tent, there lay Sisera, dead with a peg in the side of his head. And on that day Elohim humbled Jabin, sovereign of Canaan, in the presence of the children of Israel. And the hand of the children of Israel grew stronger and stronger against Jabin, sovereign of Canaan, until they had cut off Jabin, sovereign of Canaan. Judges 5. And on that day, Deborah and Barak, son of Abinoam, saying, for leaders leading in Israel, for people volunteering, bless Yah. Hear, O sovereigns, give ear, O princes. I do sing to Yah. I praise to Yah, Elohim of Israel. Yah, when you went out from Seir, when you stepped from the field of Edom, the earth shook and the heavens poured, and the clouds also poured water. The mountains flowed at the presence of Yah. This Sinai at the presence of Yah, Elohim of Israel. In the days of Shemgar, son of Anath, in the days of Jael, the highways were deserted, and the travelers went in crooked ways. Leadership ceased in Israel, until I, Deborah, arose. A mother in Israel arose. They chose new mighty ones. Then fighting was in the gates. Neither shield nor spear was seen among 40,000 in Israel. My heart is toward the inscribers of Israel, the volunteers among the people. Bless Yah. You who ride on white donkeys, you who sit on rich carpets, and you who walk along the way, declare it. By the voice of shouters between the places of drawing water, there they recount the righteous acts of Yah, the righteous acts of his leadership in Israel. Then the people of Yah shall go down to the gates. Wake up, Deborah, wake up. Sing a song, arise, Barak, and lead your captives away, O son of Abinoam. Then he set the remnant to rule the nobles. Yah came down for me against the mighty ones, and out of Ephraim the root is set against Amalek. After you, Benjamin with your peoples, out of Machir inscribers came down, and out of Zebulun those who handle the scribes' reed. And the heads of Issachar were with Deborah, and as Issachar, so was Barak sent into the valley under his command. Among the divisions of Reuben, there were great searchings of heart. Why did you remain among the sheepfolds to hear the bleatings of the flocks? The divisions of Reuben have great searchings of heart. And Gilad remained beyond the Yarden. Why did Dan remain on ships? Asher continued at the seashore and remained by its landing places. Zebulun is a people who risk their lives to the point of death. Naphtali also, on the heights of the field. Sovereigns came, they fought. Then the sovereigns of Canaan fought in Tanakh by the water of Megiddo. They took no spoils of silver. From the heavens they fought. The stars from their courses fought against Sisera. The Wadi Gishon swept them away, that age-old wadi, the Wadi of Gishon. O my being, you have trampled in strength. Then stamped hooves of horses, with the galloping of his steeds. Curse Meroz, said a messenger of Yah. Curse its inhabitants, because they did not come to the help of Yah, among the mighty. Blessed above women is Yael, wife of Heber the Canaanite. Above women in tents she is blessed. He asked for water, she gave milk. She brought out curdled milk in a bowl for nobles. She stretched her hand to the tent peg, and to her right hand to the workman's hammer. Then she pounded Sisera. She smashed his head. She pierced and struck through the side of his head. Between her feet he bowed. He fell. He lay still. Between her feet he bowed. He fell. Where he bowed, there he fell, destroyed. Through the window the mother of Sisera looked and cried out through the lattice, "Why does his chariot delay to come? Why have the steps of his chariots tarried?" The wise ones of her princes answered her. Indeed, she answered herself. They did not find and divide the spoil, a girl or two for each man, a spoil of dyed work for Sisera, a spoil of dyed work dyed work richly embroidered for the necks of the looter. So do all your enemies perish, O Yah, but let those who love him be like the sun rising in its might. And the land had rest 40 years.